bypass. So I used to be a really, really large man. I'm still a pretty big kid by most people's standards. I'm still, 6'2", 300 pounds plus. So I'm still a big kid. But I used to be, prior to having my gastric bypass, I used to be 462.1. So I was big with like a capital B, like Biggie. I was like that. I was big like that. So, having been there, I can appreciate the struggle that these two athletes are going through, but they are going through them. They are going through it in a pretty visible space, and I happen to be an athlete that put on a lot of weight. Well, I certainly gained weight when I was in college, but weight in college and weight coming out of college, even when you're playing ball and you're working out all the time, that's a different kind of weight. I mean, you may put on, depending upon your size of frame, you could put on 15, 20 pounds a year, and it could be okay. I mean, if you're balling like that and you're a big dude, you could literally put on. I was putting on 20 pounds a year, like every year. That I was just getting it in. I was just absolutely getting it in. So, from high school and those first few years in college, those are just 20 pound a year years. I'm eating pizza, pasta. I'm eating anything that's not nailed down. It doesn't even matter. When you're just lifting a lot of weights, you're running, you're exercising, you're chasing girls in the street, you're just getting it in. You are getting it in, and it just doesn't matter because you're in college. Now, once you get out of college and you get into the pros, if you're working out and playing at the top of your game like a professional athlete, and you've got personal trainers and nutritionists and all the above, you ought to be able to stay reasonably on top of this situation. Boston has a problem in that they've got a baseball player named Kung Fu Panda. The Kung Fu Panda came from San Francisco. He's playing third base. He's doing him, and he is a big fella. He is a big fella, and at this point, he's been although they are paying him $95 million for a multi-year contract, he has lost his position on the field. So now he is literally just hanging out in the dugout. He's just hanging out in the dugout, getting paid, because in baseball, your money's guaranteed. So now he's just hanging out in the dugout, eating donuts, and getting paid $95 million. It is absolutely horrendous that he is doing that, and that he cannot control himself and the situation, and apparently can't be inspired to do so. That's the problem with guaranteed contracts. That is the real problem. When folks sometimes can't identify if they are siding with managers or management, or siding with the players, it's really, really tough. It is really, really tough to justify taking the player's side when you're a dude who's going to sign a contract. Now granted, he was a big dude in San Francisco. Sandoval was a big dude in San Francisco, and that's when he got the name Kung Fu Panda and all the above. But when he came to Boston, he just let it all go. He got the big contract, he moved to Boston, and I don't know if he's just, drinking brews. I don't know if it's too cold, so maybe he doesn't go out to exercise. Although, I can't even make excuses, right? I mean, you're a professional athlete. You're a professional athlete. You've got $95 million. You can find places to be warm. You can find people to make you warm. You can find places, you can go to hot rooms, steam rooms, all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, there's no good excuse. And then my man Jared Sullinger on the Boston Celtics. They list Sullinger at 6'9", and they claim that he's 260 pounds. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me just share what I know. Okay, with mine eyes. Mine eyes have seen the behind of one Jared Sullinger. Jared Sullinger's behind is roughly the size of the broadside of a minivan, okay, that is the size of his buttocks. So to tell me that he is 260, perhaps 270 pounds, let's be clear. You need to tell that to somebody who's trying to hear it, okay? You need to tell that to somebody who doesn't know weight. I know weight. I know lbs. I know pounds, okay? When you have really dealt with pounds, real lbs, when you have a relationship with lbs, when you know how to get it in, when you know how to build that 300-pound plus, and dude is well over 300 pounds. He's 6'9". Now, he's got one of the worst hairstyles in the world. He's doing the Odell Beckham thing where he's, got some sort of blonde afro on top of a dark afro, and then he's got it with a mohawk. I mean, he looks like a clown. He looks like a clown. But the only thing that's worse is that he's got these little tiny ankles, and then again has a backside that is literally the size of the broadside of a minivan. I would guesstimate that if I were to actually break out a scale in front of Jared Sullinger, that dude is about 340. I would put him at about 340. That's the size person I think we're talking about. I think we're talking about 340. And mind you, that's not that hard to get there. I mean, that sounds like a lot of weight, and I'm not being dismissive of the fact that it's a lot of weight, but when you look at dude's shoulders, when you look at his whole body, now the only way he may not be there is if just all of his weight is just straight fat and just none of it's muscle. And I will say that it does look like there's a lot of fat. I mean, beyond just his backside, his belly, there's nowhere when you see him, it looks like there's no muscle tone anywhere. It looks like he never lifts a weight. Like that's the part, even if you're a dude who's going to struggle with your weight, if you at least went to the gym and your arms, your shoulders or somewhere looked like you at least put in some effort to get some muscle tone somewhere so that your muscle tone up top balanced out what you're doing at the bottom, that would be different. But Sullinger, you're making it clear. You're not working out at all. You just simply don't care. That's just it's a bad statement. I mean, to be struggling with your weight, I understand the struggle. I'm there. But you can at least go to the gym, son. Son, the gym is open. The gym is open. And the cat on your team, there's a couple of cats on your team who are in fantastic shape. Isaiah Thomas, little dude. But, your power forward to do with the dreads, his name escapes me at the moment, but he's in fantastic shape. When he goes to work out, when he goes to the gym, bro, ride with him. Ride with him. Have him plug in to your GPS where the gym is. Maybe go live with him. Go see what he's eating. Because he looks like he's eating steel. So for you to be walking around and can't make a contribution, and people are paying you millions of dollars, and you literally can't make a contribution and really can't even move your feet. Your feet are getting stuck in the sand, and you look like you're going to trip over yourself because there's too much, behind weight over your ankles. That's just a horrible look. Horrible, horrible look. So again, Boston, we have a problem. That's my 6 minutes, but Boston, we got a problem. That's my 6 minutes on that. All right. Well, coming out of our 6, I want to go to, two of the most iconic ball players in the National Basketball League. One of them just ended a career, and one of them is still, at the top of the game. Kobe Bryant, I'm just going to say briefly, I have never been a Kobe cat. I never liked Kobe. I never liked Kobe from his first interview, literally the first time I laid eyes on him at his first interview at Lower Merion High School when he was wearing a maroon suit and had the sunglasses on his head and he was 17 years old. I did not like him then. So for me, essentially, that was when I met him in the media. Granted, I wasn't covering, I wasn't at Lower Merion, but that was the first time I saw him with my own eyes. I did not like him then. I liked very little that I ever heard out of his mouth after that. I did not like him as a ball player. I was a Mike cat. I was a LeBron cat. I could even do Bird. I could do a lot of different people. I could do Magic. Never had anything for Kobe whatsoever. I was a Shaq cat. Never anything for Kobe. So I got to admit, never liked the dude whatsoever. Never liked anything about him. His entire program, from soup to nuts, always seemed selfish. Always seemed just so incredibly me-driven. I didn't like his nickname. Just do not like the man. Just absolutely do not like the man. So, as people sitting here celebrating this kind of legacy, and he goes out and now he's retired and he's going out, people like, oh yeah, he was the guy and he's done all these kind of fake interviews. It is so incredibly disingenuous. I mean, everything about it is just fake and disingenuous. I mean, this was a world-class jerk. Kobe Bryant was a world-class jerk. He's the kind of jerk Barry Bonds like, a very Barry Bonds-like jerk. Just the top of the jerk, heap. If you go to Jerk Mountain, you've got to find, there must be a pillar or something or some sort of, special monument on the top of Jerk Mountain where, Barry Bonds and Kobe Bryant have, side-by-side trophies. That's the level of jerk I think he is. Just a complete jerk. So I'm done with Kobe. I'm happy, I'm happy to never have to talk about him again. The guy who I'm disappointed in is LeBron James. I'm disappointed in LeBron in that there was so much love for you at the beginning of your career. You always had kind of the street cred thing. You were the biggest, hardest, toughest dude, what have you. Then you made the whole mess up with the decision, which left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. You went to Miami for a few years. You seemed to recover. We're getting it back. You won some championships. Then you made the decision to come back to Cleveland, and people kind of gave you the benefit of the doubt. But now you just every time you open up your mouth, you're just saying or doing the wrong thing. And I don't get it. You're like consumed in a level of narcissism that you're just like imploding with just stupidity, just acts of stupidity and immaturity unnecessarily. LeBron, stop tweeting, stop following, stop talking, stop shooting pictures, stop Instagramming. Just shut your program down and be a world-class athlete and a leader. And bro, that's what your team needs. That's what your brand needs. That's what your sponsors need. That's what your family needs. That's what the city of Cleveland needs. They need you just to focus and be the best LeBron you can be and stop with all the antics. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. Y'all have been regular. I've enjoyed my time. I'm happy to be back. I will see you next week. Thank you for joining C-Suite Sports, and go to csuitesports.net. It's your main man, Mike G. Thank you to Nick and Chuck. I'm out.